we're here today to talk about how to sell loud. Why should vendors listen to you when it comes to marketing their property?
I could brag about my career in real estate and the 1,000+ properties I've sold and the record prices like any agent does, you know, but I don't think anybody watching this video today, Karen, wants me to hear another real estate agent bragging about their past success. So I'm not going to talk about that. I'd rather just talk about what my passion is for real estate and what I've learned over the years and how that's really affected how we do business. And really, it comes down to one thing that I learned probably years ago now and started seeing this often, and that is similar properties often don't sell for a similar price. So you can have two virtually identical properties side by side in the same marketplace, and lo and behold, one sells for a record price and one sells, you know, thousands, maybe tens of thousands below the other one. Why is it? That's the question that I really wanted to answer. And I've answered that in my mind, and I wrote the book, The Love Price, around that. And what we do at Hutton & Hutton, and you know, the way we think is that philosophy that similar properties often don't sell for a similar price, and then we go about answering that every time for a seller.
What's the single most important thing sellers should consider when it comes to marketing their property? Usually it's the biggest asset that they have.
There's a lot of different things to consider, Karen, of course, when you're selling real estate, but I think the number one thing to consider is creating competition, is how competition for a property actually forces price up. And without competition for a property, really the buyers dictate how much they're going to pay. But when you mix in more than one interested party that wants to buy that property, then that really gives the seller an opportunity to see the truth around the value of their property. And if you can do it in a transparent way as well, then all the better. It's competition that drives up price. Nothing else drives up price as much as competition.
What's the biggest mistake that vendors might make when it comes to maximising the sale of their property?
Again, another great question, Karen. I think the biggest mistake that vendors make is believing that all they need is that one buyer. And if an agent comes along and says, I had that one buyer, they're willing to pay full market value for your property, then they decide, okay, that's fantastic, that saves me going on the market. So selling off market, or we often call it selling quietly, there's been agents actually describe it as selling quietly, but most now describe it as being off market, actually puts you in a situation where you're not creating that atmosphere of competition. And without competition for a buyer, they actually have the upper hand. It's why, you know, to be completely truthful, buyers' agencies have really done well in recent times because their job is to try and buy a property at the lowest price. Why else would you pay a buyer's agent to shop around and look for a property for you? That's one of the main reasons why you would use a buyer's agent, to try and get a property off market. Well, that's a mistake, selling off market, because it removes competition.
When it comes to marketing, is it true that great marketing makes cars go faster, beer taste better, and homes sell for more?
It sure does. Let's face it, when you put that Ferrari logo on a car, it goes faster. You know it's a fast car, you know it's one of the best cars on the road in the marketplace. And when you remove the brand and the logo or the advertising, and in that void of no marketing, you're leaving it up to the audience to decide how fast that car can go, because they don't know. But branding and marketing is everything. It's all about perception. And it's why you can have two products on a shelf at Coles or Woolworths, and one's a no-name brand and one's a brand, and they're identical ingredients, yet people pay more for the branded, the heavily marketed product, as opposed to the not marketed product, or, you know, unbranded product. So it is true, advertising and marketing is everything. And you will notice these great marketers of really great products, being furniture, clothes, cars, food, holidays, they go loud. They're on market. They're creating a sense of excitement around their product or service, and that's what gets them that higher price. The ones that go really quiet, if they've got no brand, then that's why they're sold at a lower price, and that's the only way that they can sell them, is at a lower price.
Okay, that makes sense. Pete, how is it that H&H get consistently high prices and relatively quick sales for their clients?
Look, Karen, it just comes down to this. H&H follow the idea that selling loud is way better than selling quietly. So we do everything we can to sell loud. Now, back in the old days, that was print media, wasn't it? But print media is largely changed, and cost structures have changed, and digital media has taken over. So selling loud to us is about creating lots of competition, and how we do that is that we get a lot of eyeballs on the listings we have before buyers actually come and look at the property. So step one is to get a lot of people to see it. Now, in a typical ad of ours in a social media and the kind of systems that we're using, our social media ads are generating upwards of 100,000 views per property. That's an enormous amount of audience looking at a property. Then the next step is to how do we get them from there online into the property, because it's critical. We want as many people in that property as possible. So lots of inspections at the open home, lots of people at the open home, lots of private inspections. And when that happens, we know one thing happens. The next thing is this: you get second inspections. So a percentage of those people will come back for a second inspection, and then from there we get offers. So our goal for every single property we list is what we call, I know it sounds a bit odd, but it's called the 444-2 rule. So that's 4 weeks maximum, and that means we'll produce a minimum of 40 buyers coming through open homes and inspections. Out of that, our goal is to get at least 4 buyers to come back for a second inspection. And from those 4 buyers, we know we're going to get at least 2 offers. Now, of course, 40 is our minimum for us. So some properties we get 100 groups through, even more on some properties. And of course, that filters down to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 offers. It's got so busy on our properties right now, we've even had to put a make an offer button on our website to assist that whole process of compiling all the offers from all the various buyers, so the agent can, in a speedy and fast fashion, get those contracts to the buyers, get them signed, and then we present them to the seller. So it's a really great process, and it often sees our property sell within that 4-week period. And that's how we do it. We sell loud, we create lots of competition, and then we have a system to take it right down like a funnel, all the way down to offers, and then making those offers and expediting those offers and negotiating the best price for our seller. That's how we do it.